am I doing with my life? Howdy folks, it is Lance Elliott here, and welcome to Let's Play Major Minor, a somewhat anticipated series coming from me. For those who don't know, I am the owner of the Samantha character in the game. It's Vixen right down there. We can talk about how she got into the game later in the video, I think. For now, we're just going to jump straight into the game, I believe. Let's go. There's all sorts of controversies, man. Using multiple save files is highly recommended. Both keyboard and controller are supported for input. F4 will enter windowed mode, F5 will return to the main menu. It's already in windowed mode, by the way. It wasn't starting in full screen for some reason. We're playing the complete edition. Where am I? Is this outer space? No, absolutely it can't be. I never survive in the void. I scan my surroundings. What I see should be an impossibility. A luminescent nebula gazes back at me. It twinkles, dancing across the sky. So we did play chapters 1 and 2 when the game first came out, but we didn't play anything after that. And we were also on the original version and not the complete edition. It's beautiful, but I'm not here to stargaze. As I take in the scenario, I notice some key things. My feet are not on solid ground. I appear suspended. And for some reason, I'm able to hear and breathe. Those are two things you can't do in space. I count that as a blessing and focus on the breathing. There were exercises I could use to calm myself down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Before I can count any higher, though, I'm interrupted. At that moment, I realize I'm not here by myself. Feel a hand rest upon my shoulder, and I shiver. I expect to feel fear, but a rush of calm overtakes me. Oh, you can't even see him. Might have to go small webcam mode, and then send me to the corner, where I belong. Oh, and welcome to the Ark. This is a very special place, you see. Only a select few are allowed to be here. This is home to those touched by fate, imbued with a power most would call fiction. Others have come, but now it's your turn. First and foremost, I require a name, something to enter in the annals of time. You must ensure that you aren't forgotten. First name. Alright, this will be... You do the... Ooh, barely Lanso 90 fits. Lanso 90, huh? Has a nice ring to it. Sure you'll be remembered. My name, you ask? I'm afraid that's not important. No one will remember me after this. I'm pretty sure this character is not... I think he's just made for this game. I don't think this character belongs to anyone. Well, it belongs to Clace, I guess. Your presence here pertains a great fate. Not just for you, but for the universe, too. That is the purpose of those who come here. To that end, what else do they call you? Your surname is just as important. Out of curiosity, I must know. Oh no, there isn't a last name for their channel, brother. Let's do my last name for real, then. So 90 Elliott, huh? Very well, the pleasure is mine. In giving me your name, the deed is done. Your service to me in the Ark is pledged. I didn't agree to anything. I didn't sign any paperwork. But don't worry, you're not a slave. Your service rewards you with a power, something that most would kill to achieve. Some good looks. Others must bend to the rules of the world, but for you, the opposite rings true. You're no longer a victim of circumstance. When you make a choice, reality will bend. Your every whim will fall upon your lap. The universe now accommodates you. This is a power granted to you by the Ark. This is a power granted to you by me. Oh, it appears that you're fading away. Do you long to return to Earth? I understand. There's fear in the unknown. So is God a hyena? Is that what's going on here? We'll find you again soon, and perhaps then we can talk a little bit more. Don't be scared, Lance 90. I mean no harm. You'd like to save your game? Yes. I think this is going to be more saves than are going to be actually necessary. Can't help but notice I don't see Sam in the actual things here. Oh, there we go. Bullet train. I feel a rush of speed as I'm shot back into my body. It was almost as if my spirit momentarily left me. What was that, man, and what was the Ark? I scratched my head in the state of sheer confusion. Isn't that the ultimate Halo ring thing from Halo 3? Definitely wasn't a dream, I know that for sure. When you wake up from a dream, you know it wasn't real. You laugh it off, continue on with your life. That's not the sensation I was feeling right now. I tried to ground myself in reality. I take in my surroundings, the noises, and the people. I focus on my destination, Tokyo, Japan. I feel myself calm down slowly but surely. The anxiety starts to replace itself with excitement. So many would argue that the difference is... Argue what the difference is. Who didn't dream of going to Tokyo in their lifetime? It had to be on the bucket list of millions of people. It's not really high on my priority list. And as it was the first of many places I'd visit, on what would surely be the best year of my life, I sit there, holding the armrest with a fierce grip. Wouldn't be long until I figured out how wrong I was. These are owned by people I am friends with. At least Rook. I think I'm also friended with this character, but I'm also forgetting his name at the moment. I apologize. I tried my best to maintain my composure. A can of Pop Star held firmly in my grasp. I wasn't one to drink energy drinks so leisurely, but I picked up what you might call an addiction. For a little bit more context, I'll say this. Popstar was the leading brand of energy drink. In fact, it was almost as popular as soda. It had a full endorsement from a famous pop idol. The contest was held to coincide with this idol's new tour. 2 special cans were then thrown into the wild. Those that found them got to travel with the tour, almost like a golden ticket from old childhood stories. I've got a golden ticket. The contest made the drink skyrocket in popularity. It took the world by storm, a cultural phenomenon. The chance to live a life of luxury was hard to pass up. In case you didn't know, the name of the idol is Clace. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Don't worry. So when I say I picked up something of an addiction, that might actually be the understatement of the year. The odds of winning were literally in the billions, so it took a fair amount of chugging in order to win. Diabetes. I asked myself if it was worth it. If the diabetes was worth it, but that's subjective. At least that's what I told myself in between jitters. Being one of the lucky 2 came with its consequences. That's what the media called the prospective winners. Where do I know that sound effect from? Before I continue thinking I'm interrupted, someone walking down the aisle has a nasty fall. That takes a special type of skill, doesn't it? He quickly rises to his feet wearing a look of panic. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. And on my head, it's not the end of the world. Aside from a minor frightened, everything is fine. I don't know if that's proper English. Although maybe we could talk to pass the time. It was starting to get boring sitting by myself. First time on a train. I don't know what came over me. I just got dizzy and then bam. Seems like someone has a case of vertigo. I apologize again. Sorry for intruding, I really am. I try explaining to him that everything is fine, but he seems to think he's committed an awful crime. Choices will affect the way you are treated. Before you can respond, however, alarm sounds loudly. The train comes to a screeching halt. Mechanical failure? That's not good. Oh no, what was that? You going to die? Can't help but snicker at that. He's clearly one of those catastrophic thinkers. Good thing I bought a conch. Now I can be in power if we're stranded. He was rummaging through his bag. A bit of a bookworm too, isn't he? Decided to sit back and wait it out. So in situations like this, there was nothing else to do. Try and think of how I could pass the time. Might be a while before we're mobile again. I can't use my phone for anything other than text. The data charges while abroad were a death sentence. Aren't we gonna be a rich and famous celebrity after this? Everyone back home would already be asleep. There's quite the time difference at play here. My phone vibrates and I look at it, almost as if it knew I was thinking about it. It's Rook, the man I'm trying to meet at the train station. We're almost here. I can't wait all day, you know. Wondering where I am. I'm not sure what to say. Should I play it cool or let him know we're stalled? Can't say for sure. Rook didn't like your response. I choose to be honest with him. I don't want to get things off to a bad start, but somehow I feel like that's exactly what happened. God, certainly my least favorite thing to hear. Very well. This is not Rook's actual personality. His reply signals a feeling of discontent, but there was nothing I could do. Of course, I was truthful. I could rest easy. Notice that the squirrel was also eagerly texting away. Put my phone in my back pocket and reclined on my seat. I wasn't exactly sure how Rook was related to Clace. He had to be pretty high up there. I was given only concrete details last week. I thought there'd be limos and media coverage, but I was quickly told that this wasn't the case. I was getting picked up by a regular guy named Rook. I wonder if he would go all full-on cliche with a large piece of cardboard that says Lance 090. Oh man, I really hope we'll be okay. My train rides are usually incident-free. Usually, but he said this was his first time. He seems to be contradicting himself without realizing it. Well, as fun as awkward silences are, we should probably get to know each other, just in case we're stuck here forever. Oh, how fun that would be. You can call me Killa. I'm here too. Well, I'm here to see some friends. What about you? What brings you to Tokyo? It's nice to meet another English speaker. I only speak Japanese at preschool level. About to answer, but I stopped myself short. I have flashbacks to when I signed that NDA. I wasn't allowed to publicly reveal why I was here. At least not until the media made it official. I mean, it's pretty obvious he's the second winner. But then again, what harm could it do? I'd likely never find itself back to me, plus Killa could be impressed with who I really am. A friend would be a great thing to have while abroad. Should I tell him or keep it secret for now? Some choices don't have immediate consequences. Well, I won a contest. I decided there's no harm in telling him the truth. Rick and those around him would never find out. Count the adventure I took to find the winning can. I end up rambling on a little bit longer than I'd have liked, but he seems, well, he's clearly indifferent. Oh, that's pretty cool. Not the answer I was expecting, obviously. Happy for you, though. Wish my life was that eventful. I'm just here to visit my brother. He's a big fan of Clace, actually. He would have killed to win that contest. I thought he said he was here to meet friends. Now he's here to meet his brother? That seems odd. I'm still really excited. It's my first time in Tokyo. Gotta hit up all the maid cafes. Oh boy. Of course, typical tourist. What about you? Would you ever go to a maid cafe? I've heard they're just the best. Maid cafes, those were much like restaurants in Western culture. However, your waitress actually stays at your table. You converse with them, play games, and get to know them. Definitely wasn't a foreign concept to me. How do I respond to Killa? Not really my thing, or I'd love to go to one. I'd love to go to one. Cool, we'll have to keep in touch. I've looked online on all the tourist sites. There's some great ones down in Akihabara. Before I can continue talking, the train moves again, and the passengers are shaken by the sudden movement. Killa beams wide smiles as if this was a major victory. Wow, I was scared for nothing. That didn't really last long at all. He sure seems like quite the character. If we did end up going to those maid cafes, well, there'd be no shortage of entertainment. I wonder if the same could be said of Rook. More importantly, I wonder how he'd treat me. He certainly seems like an interesting guy. I sure hope he doesn't find out how I broke my NDA. I wanted to make friends here, not enemies. I find it odd that I'm analyzing my previous actions, as if I could have changed what I said and what I did. Perhaps it was because of that weird vision I had. I can control my own destiny or something like that. A ridiculous thing to comprehend. If I could only control my destiny, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't even be here. I'd probably be off somewhere living a life of luxury. But there's no use in thinking like that, so I stop. Ugh. At that exact moment, a pain attacks my chest. More pain than I've ever felt before. It pulses within my increasingly fast heartbeat. Well, that feels like an anxiety attack. Slow to catch my gut instinctively, only to find out I can't move. Everyone around me seems to have frozen in place. I start to panic. I go to focus on my breathing like before, but I can't breathe either. Ugh. I sense someone behind me, and then I feel it. Nothing personnel, kid. That hand on my shoulder again. The pain fades away, and I grasp loudly for air. Is there something about his touch? Terribly sorry for earlier. Our meeting seems to have been cut short. Perhaps you desired to return to Earth. After all, the universe spins towards you now. Am I that frightening? Either way, I sense conflict within you. You think what happened earlier was a dream. Yet now your dream stands before you. Am I real? The Ark is real. Or I am real. And the power that you have? Well, yes, it's real too. I'm not here to lecture you anymore. Your words and actions are your own. As is the power that I have given you. When will you learn that your actions have consequences? However, you will be asked to help me. You're not receiving this power for free. I will let you run free for today. Will I see you again? When I see you again tonight? Question mark. I will tell you everything. And then your journey will begin. I'm Ron Burgundy? Like to save your game? Yes. We'll use separate saves for now. I was immediately shot back to my own reality, or at least the reality that I was comfortable with. But now I know one thing for sure. That really happened. The Arctis wasn't a dream. He actually gave me some sort of power. I have no idea what to think right now. The confusion inside of me intensifies. It's like millions of voices are fighting in my head, and then we're suddenly silenced, trying to make sense of everything that happened. Hey, are you coming? Killa stands before me, his luggage in tow. I notice I'm also standing up. It appears that my body has moved on its own, almost like something momentarily took over. Did I say something wrong? Gosh, I need to wash my mouth. I tell him that he did nothing wrong. I let him know that I was lost in my own train of thought. He seems to giggle as if this was a pun. I decide to take the credit for it, perhaps in an attempt to ease my inner turmoil. At least he waited for me, or he'd be clueless right now. That's the last thing I'd want to be. Alone and confused in Tokyo, a bad combination. Apologize for the delay as we exit the train. Fright looms over me for the rest of my day. Whatever happened tonight would change everything. Fade to black. So we'll try to just get Chapter 1 done in the first video, but we'll see. I might have to break into 2. Earlier that day, in the courtrooms of Terra, a planet far from Earth, yet closer than was known to any. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, without further delay, I present to you Lord Player, your current leader in the race for mayor, and with that, your future king. I've been his humble servant for years, and through that I am certain of one thing. He will bring Terra to an age of prosperity. Lord Player, come on now, Riley, you embarrass me. I'd rather speak for myself. I'm flattered, but they need to hear me. I shall speak of this prosperity on my own. There is something every Terran must hear. Under our current king, we are doomed. Forgive me, Lord Player. I did not mean to embarrass you, not in front of all these people. I mean you no quarrel, Riley. Have a seat. I'll call on you as needed. Yes, my lord? Allow me to ask you all a question. You do not need to answer vocally. Just ponder on it as food for thought. If I may paint an image in your minds, You have a starving family. Your only desire is to feed them. You work hard, harder than you ever have before, but you only have enough food to feed half. The rest of your family will simply starve. So before you can eat it, there's a knock, a violent rapping on the door of your home. You learn that this someone is new to Terra. They fled the destruction of their home, and all they want is new life on your soil. They beg for your food, almost dying, but if you feed them, your family suffers. In this case, charity is a curse. They live and your family may die. So what would you do? Would you help a stranger, even if it goes to hurt your own family? No. I believe I know what your answer is. Why would I let my family die? Why would I give a stranger my food? I do not blame you if this is your answer. You worked so hard for this sustenance. Why are you expected to just give it away? Why is Terra expected to give it away? This is a portrait painted of our world, a place to be taken advantage of, used. We can barely sustain ourselves, yet we tend to care for those... We need to care for these immigrants. Politics. Your current king is making a fatal mistake. He gives everything away freely. He calls himself the immortal king. If he truly lived for several millennia, well, you think he'd have common sense, something Terra's been lacking as of late. I don't know, based on the background, it looks like everything's pretty fine. Every immigrant accepts another stroke on our canvas, one that paints us as lax and lazy. The more we accept into our world, the more we condemn ourselves to accept. This is the power of that word of mouth. At this rate, we will all die. Regardless of our origin, we will starve. Don't starve together. I wanted a strict immigration law, but even this would not help us. You don't allow a disease to run rampant. So Trump? Like, what's going on? We need to cure this blight permanently. We need to build a wall. A vote for player will give us severance and a disconnect from all the other worlds. Wait, we vote for our kings here? No longer will they be able to use us. If elected, I'll devote my life to this. I will ensure Terra's independence and our base rights to live fulfilling lives. Only then will we be free from immigration. Only then will our resources be our own. That is all. Will there be any questions? Well, I didn't vote for you. I have a question for you, Lord Player. You're accepting, of course. I'm also friends with this person. Please speak, my child. My name is Kalen. Please refrain from calling me a child. I'm not one of your blind followers. ... The real problem lies with your greed. You're a noble. You have so much food. Why do you hoard? Why do you hoard and say we have run short? What? If people like you learn to share, well, we'd all be leading happy lives. You're a single man. You have seen some inside reports. You hoard enough food to feed dozens. Inside reports. Would it be more fitting to share? The supply is there, Lord Player. Your campaign is based on a lie. And why do you have so much food? You don't look that round to me. This is why Lord Veliquez wants a tithe. Not on everybody, just the rich. So I don't think you care about our food or any resources for that matter. You only care about removing foreigners. So my question is, what is the true reason you seek severance? What gives you the right to say this? You're speaking to your future king. Well, I didn't vote for you. Future king, don't make me laugh. You're avoiding the question. Where's your proof? Accusations require evidence, Kalen. Something I'm sure you don't have. I'd laugh at the notion that I'm hoarding. Especially enough to feed dozens of people. I know the importance of giving. I would never keep that while others starve. Really, you fooled me. That story you just told everyone, the one about not sharing and giving? Ask why you seek severance, and why you go and get this defensive? Your hatred speaks volumes, Lord Player. There's no time to discriminate here. Everyone deserves food and shelter, not just those native to Terra. ... By the way, I seek severance to be independent. I only want to share amongst our own. I don't want a reputation of charity. I want Terra to thrive on its own. If we keep giving things away, we only give off a bad image of ourselves. Well, even if you did achieve severance, you'd still be full of immigrants. Not only that, but their descendants too. How does this make you feel? Simple. We establish a new Terra. Once we are severed, we'd all be natives. We'd unite as one self-sustaining world. Funny you should bring that up now, remaining our entire world. You think that'd be part of your campaign. Typical politician, making things up, turning all the negatives into positives. I just want you to know that. And tonight, let's enjoy life. Pitbull, Naya, Neo, let's go. Tonight. I'll give you credit, but I'm not fooled. I ask again for proof, child. Fine, your servant Cabu has all of it. He provided a particular shipping manifest. It should be all that we need to prove this. And the evidence substantiates his claims. Claims of hearing immigrant hate speech, a nightly pastime of yours, it seems. I'll let him handle it from here. I don't remember this part being so long. And confirm all that Kalen said. Cabu, you traitor. What have I done to deserve this? At first I thought Player was my friend. I know I'm not from Terra, but he made me feel wanted like a son. He started to hate immigrants so much I realized that I was only being used. He just wanted a cheap servant. Now recently he's been hoarding food, creating nothing but an artificial shortage, one that you can conveniently blame on immigrants. This game did come out in 2016. I wonder if this was added after the election. And one that he can use as cover, he conveniently hides his hatred while supporting his campaign for mayor. The problem isn't those coming to Terra, it's the greed of those that live on it. Our immortal king speaks the truth. A tithe on the upper class. Yes, everyone would be fed. Go for Caliquez's continued reign. Lord player, you know you speak lies. Why are you doing this, Kabu? ... By the way. Please look at this shipping manifest. I will place it here for all to see, that you may know player's true nature. Remember, he owns lots of land on Terra. This is but one of many instances. I'm positive he hoards it at his other homes. Ugh. Forged. The evidence is forged. Do not trust such infantile accusations. It was likely created by Veliquez. Riley, have a word with these people. Ensure they realize Kabu's deceit. And guards, please detain these two men. Got an achievement, make Terra great again. So yeah, I think that was inserted later. We noticed there aren't many people standing around. The initial rush must have already subsided. At least Killa waited for me. How long was I out? Well, I guess this is it, huh? I kind of pictured a grander entrance. But there's really nobody here. Oh well, I should have expected less, that way you don't get disappointed. It's better than getting your hopes up. That was sure an odd way of looking at things. Of course, nothing about Killa was normal. Hey, pull out your phone. We should exchange numbers, just in case. I'll be in touch about the maid cafes. I'll read about something really cool. He pulls out his phone and awaits my information. Pull out the phone out of my pocket and I do the same. After a few moments, we exchange our digits. Got Killa's contact information. Thanks. It was nice to meet you. I'm always glad to make a new friend. He starts to scurry away. I hope he's a texter. I hate getting phone calls and it seems so weird. Our generation is definitely hooked on text messages. Wonder where I'm supposed to go. Rook never gave me detailed information. I expected he'd be right here when I got off, but I don't see anyone actually. Quickly turn a corner and bump into a helpless woman. She's not owned by anyone. She's like the other guy. Hey, watch where you're going, will you? Also owned by Clace. I love her design. I step back immediately and apologize. I tell her I was just looking for my friend Lord. I explain the fact that I'm a foreigner and... Foreigner? Oh, so am I. I'm no concierge. Probably should have tell your friend to meet you at the atrium. She points towards a large open area. I guess that's a good enough landmark. I don't remember running into her in the first playthrough we did. I think we're going to start to follow her in her direction, but before I can get too far, a hand grips my shoulder. Oh no, could it be that man again? Please just give me some peace and quiet today. Hey, are you so lonely that you've taken up talking to yourself? That's weird. I'm extremely relieved. For a moment, I thought it might have been that man again. But no, this must be right. What does he mean by talking to myself? Whatever. I'm glad you're here. The PA speakers mentioned possible delays, and that's not something I can tolerate. We're on a strict schedule. S-T-R-I-C-T. Strict. He starts typing away on his tablet. Strict. Adjective. Acting in close conformity to requirements or principles. Ever heard of that word before? Oh no, he's Mark Zuckerberg. Wow, and I thought Killa was a character. Although I guess he'd be a little upset if he was boring. No one likes a stick in the mud. So where's the other one? I was confused. I wasn't quite sure what you meant. I asked for clarification. The other contest winner I meant. You two were supposed to be together. Wait, what? Ugh. Insufferable. I hate being lied to. Drop the act. Seriously, where is he? Phil, I have no idea what he's talking about. I didn't meet anyone on the train except for Killa. Wait, could that mean... No way! Out of the shadows, someone shuffles towards us. Hey, you two. You're watching us? That's exceedingly creepy. What a group. We have ourselves a stalker, and someone who talks to themselves too. I don't really get what he means. I was clearly getting directions from that woman. I wasn't watching you, I was just shy. I just wanted to see if you were lying. I mean, you told me you won the contest, but in the back of my mind I doubted you. Looks me up and down. Rook stares at me angrily. How could this get any worse? Thought you were making things up. We both signed that NDA after all. I changed the subject immediately. I didn't want to break it too, you know? Sorry if I sound a little sketchy. Rook is angry with me. You did what? Breaking COB directives instead of adherent. Well, either way, I have to say I'm really glad to see you. I feel like we got along on the train, even if it was only for a few minutes. We can go to the maid cafe for sure now. We'll be spending so much time together. Isn't that cool? I'm ecstatic. Like to save your game. Yes. I don't know if I'll be doing any reloading, even though it's supposed to be our superpower. A maid cafe, you say? I highly advise against that. They're just a waste of time. Plus, you two don't look like the type. Maid cafes turn to attract a certain clique. What that's supposed to mean. Whatever you want it to mean, I guess. Thanks for making plans without me, though. That's nice to know that my input is valuable. Well, what did you have in mind? Nothing, really. I guess that's where you get off lucky. There's been something of a delay. Won't meet Clace for a day or two. My new task is simple. Waste time. I'm supposed to take you to where you want. That is until things are back on track. Wait, then why were you mad? We got to choose where to go. You didn't even have any ideas, Rook. Changing the subject now. You want to go to a May Cafe? Well, I know a few hot ones to attend. Most of them are in Electric Town. Electric Town? You don't mean Akihabara? Yes, I do. I'll spend lots of times there. It's the place to be for tourists. That and Clace loves the atmosphere. A lot of his outings are to Akihabara. Wow, we'll get along great then. But you mentioned something came up? Is everything okay? Why the delay? Oh, it's fine. Clace got into a fight. Him and his tour manager disagree a lot. But Singe always manages to quell him. Oh, hope it's nothing too serious. It'll be fine. Clace is a hothead. He'll be fine after venting. Anyway, we better get moving. Won't get anywhere by standing here all day. It's high time we ditch this station. Like to see it again. Yes. Alright, this is where we'll end it for now, because I think the next chapter... I think chapter 1 ends in a fairly long time from now. So I hope you all enjoyed the video. Oh boy, it's a little bit of a trip. If you did, remember to hit the like button. Keep the conversation going in the comments. I'm sure this one's going to be interesting. And subscribe if you want to see more. Until next time, hope you have a good day.